Quick video, guys. I just want to talk about another experience I had actually, and this actually should tell you that your personal experience isn't what you think it is, but you're still going to attribute it to God. But here's my story again. I've told you patterns. When you think of it, when you think of something, that thing can come true. I guess they call it manifestation, but this proves almost all spiritual things, because a lot of people will say, I prayed for a job and I got it, or I prayed for this and I got it, right? Well, here's another experience. So I've been talking to my son about getting a solar charger for his phone, right? Been talking to him about it, right? Son, you need a solar charger because you can charge your phone from anywhere, right? And not too long after that, which this happened just a few days ago, I'm throwing out the trash, and literally on the side of the dumpster, because there's a little spot on dumpsters where you can sit things, a solar charger was sitting there, practically brand new, by the way. And it was there, and I now have two solar chargers. I probably give one to my son, but yes, this is why everyone believes what they believe, because you're seeing a pattern and you're attributing it to something, whereas that incident may actually be a completely mundane. Like you getting a job and giving it to God, that's not. Do you get it? Do you get it? Like when you think of something, this is why prayer works and it doesn't work. It works because when you think of something, remember what I said, when you think of something and you keep dwelling on it, it becomes real to you. So this is why people think the Bible is true, because anyone can do what Christians do. And if you actually can think, just think about some kid on a remote island, some random kid who they probably believe in a different God. Let's just be real. Tribalism. Think about tribalism before colonialism, because we live in a world that is post-colonization. But before colonization, people lived in tribes, right? So it's likely this person on an island believed in a tribal God, and they don't have food like we could go to the grocery store, right, and get food, right? Great. Okay, so think about this kid on an island. He's hungry and he prays to his God. God, send me a sign. I'm starving. Bam! A coconut falls from the tree, and he says this was his God. Do you get it? Do you see what I'm saying? That coconut tree probably was going to drop that coconut no matter what. And Americans, they say, oh, God got me a job. But in America, where our economy is really good, what are the odds any random American will get a job if they keep trying without even the idea of a God? Have you guys thought about stuff like that? Like when you look at odds, then you'll understand. The odds of getting a job in America is pretty high if you put in the effort. Especially if you're not looking for one particular job. Like, of course, if you're like, I want to be a lawyer. I mean, come on. We need to think rationally and logically. If you need work, any kind of work, you'll get it in this country, because that's just what it is. That's not, you don't need a God for that. But I always hear Christians say, oh, God got me this job. I couldn't find a job. I prayed and worked hard, and he finally granted my wish and got me a job. He answered my prayers. But that's not something that's a miracle. That's a mundane thing. And again, it doesn't, like, whatever you think about will become true, especially to you. This is why flat earthers exist. This is why, think about the Mayan civilization as a whole. Why didn't they, like people say Jesus is all powerful. He can do anything. Why didn't any Mayan person get the Holy Spirit? No one thinks about that. Also, the early writers of the Bible, I mean, Like, I've never heard a good reason as to why people in remote tribes never come out and speak English and talk about Jesus. Boy, that would be great proof. That would be great proof if someone from a remote tribe was like, I found Jesus, I found Jesus, in a remote tribe without a missionary encountering them with the Bible. If someone from a remote tribe was able to do that, that would be impressive proof. It'll never happen because Jesus isn't that powerful, but y'all don't think that, though. Y'all think that I'm wrong. And I am a deist, so don't tell me the fool in his heart said there is no God. That's a moot point. You're trying to avoid logically thinking. But whatever you think about becomes real to you. And I just showed you again with another. There was another. I have these incidents all the time. I just forget them. But it's true that whatever you think about will come to pass, or it will become real to you. It may not be real to everyone else. This is why Scientologists still believe. I mean, think about Scientology. Who the heck would believe Scientology? This is why. Because they thought about it, they put it in their head, and it became real to them. So technically, yes, Scientology is real, but only to those who believe in it. Just like the idea of curses. I've heard this for a long time. They say, curses are only real if you believe in it. That's the same thing with the Bible. That's the same thing with Jesus. And let's be honest, it's entirely possible that Jesus never existed. I think about King Arthur. If we can make up people like King Arthur, and King Arthur was not real, but we've always believed the dude was real. Let's be honest. We've always believed he was real, but when you do some research, he wasn't real. And think about Santa Claus. Perfect example of someone who we act like they're real to an extent, but then we know he isn't real. But there's reasons why Jesus may not have ever existed. I won't say that. It's entirely possible. I actually make it simple. All historical figures were real except for the miracles part of their story. It's very simple, very easy. You want to hate me for saying that, but that's the simplest logical way to go about it, because no one's doing miracles today. No one's walking on water or going to heaven. I ain't seen it. Have you seen somebody go to heaven? You seen somebody fly up into the sky? I haven't. So why should I believe a man can walk on water if I haven't seen it? But I see technology doing miracles. Technology is a miracle. And that's another reason why I know the Bible can't be true. There's nothing in it about today. And they say, what is it? Wars and rumors of wars. That's not a prophecy. That's something that's as old as time. Men being lovers of themselves and lovers of money and lovers of pleasure. That's also not a prophecy. That is also as old as mankind. Men have never not been lovers of themselves and lovers of pleasure. If you know history and you do your research on history, you'll know that that's not a prophecy. Neither is wars and rumors of wars. Wars have been going forever. I mean, ever since humans were tribalistic, which, again, think about how old the idea of tribalism. It's extremely old. It's ancient. So wars have never stopped. So that also isn't a prophecy. There's no real prophecies in the book. And in fact, Jews have already debunked Psalms 22. Psalms 22 has nothing to do with Jesus. It's a mistranslation. I mean, I'm not telling you anything that's a hunch or a guess. I'm telling you what's fact. So it is a fact that Thor was a real person. I won't say a fact, but it's pretty much, we all pretty much agree Thor was a real person, but he didn't fly with a hammer, you know? It's likely dude was a mighty warrior for the Vikings. Odin was probably real too, but none of them had magic. Like, the Bible is a magic book. The Bible is witchcraft trying not to be witchcraft. You literally cast spells when you pray. I know you'll disagree, whatever, but this is just what I see and understand. I'm using logic, reason, and science, and I can tell you with the fact that there are no miracles in the Bible that actually occurred. Like, you can't walk on water. You can't heal someone like the way Jesus healed the blind. That's never happened. And the idea that Thomas, I'm gonna end it after this, but Thomas, I forget, it's John something, but basically, it's after Jesus comes back and Thomas is like, I don't believe you. And so Jesus says, here. And he sticks his finger in Jesus' hole. And he says, my Lord and my God. But then Jesus goes on and say, you know what? It's better if you didn't see this. That is so bad. Think about any other religion and apply that same logic. Any other religion. Because Jesus is saying, you don't need to see me to believe in me. Think about that logic with any other religion. And if you can't agree, then you know the Bible is not true. I'm not going to believe in Hinduism without seeing proof. Hard proof. I'm not. There's no way any of you would. In fact, just the idea that Lord Krishna is blue, most of you will say it's not true just for that reason. Not for any other reason. Not for any other reason. Just because Lord Krishna is blue, most of you will say that that religion is not true, despite it checking all the boxes for your standard of evidence, because most of you have a very simple standard of evidence. What do I mean? Most of you just need personal experience, and you need a book, and you need faith. If that's all we need, we all should be Hindu. Oh, and they'll say, oh, the Bible's well preserved. Well, Hinduism is the oldest religion that's on earth. I'm not making this up. I'm telling you what straight facts. But I'm going to end it. I hope you guys think. And remember, like, the Bible could be completely false. Deism could be true, or there could be no God at all. And you can still convince yourself that the Bible is true. Any religion, for that matter, it's not just the Bible, but most people that's going to watch this are American, and they're Protestant or Catholic. But yeah, you can convince yourself of something being true when it isn't. That's really what I'm getting at. And this is true of Christianity. It's true of the Bible, because our expectations for this God is very low. It's very low. Because any other God, we'd require more. There's no way you're going to sign up for Hinduism just because they say have faith and that they have a book that's considered the Word of God. You're not going to do it. Whatever reasons y'all think other religions are false, that's the same reason why I would say Christianity is false. The exact same reason. Well, except for you guys will see Hinduism and you will see Lord Krishna and he's blue, so he can't be real. But the same reasons. Why is Islam not true? Because it says crazy things. Yeah, Christianity too. That's the same thing. It's the same thing. But I'm going to end it. I'm sure there'll be more instances that I just gave. Near-death experiences. That's another thing I've already talked about. Near-death experiences cannot prove anything true, because you'll have Hindus who see Lord Krishna. Again, whatever Christianity can present as evidence, Hinduism can do it equally, equally. The Bible changes your life. Well, so does the Bhagavad Gita. Most of you wouldn't know that because you haven't read the Bhagavad Gita and you're not really in tune with Hinduism, which actually tells me that religion is confined to geography, which also disproves religion, including the Bible, because it's unlikely for someone who is in one community or culture to jump out of it. And a lot of people say, well, we have free will, we can do it. But once you understand the mind, when you understand how the mind works, you'll understand what I'm telling you. Once you're given information, it's hard to get, especially when it's spiritual, because that's really the thing. When you're giving spiritual information, it's hard to break away, especially when everyone around you believes in it, even if they're not directly in your community. Because a lot of people say, I grew up in a household and they were both atheists. But you grew up in a Christian country. Do you get it? Just like someone born in India, it's very unlikely they'll ever believe Jesus was God or is God. It's very unlikely. In fact, most of India will stay Hindu for most of eternity because of culture and how it works and how the mind works. But I want you to study neuroscience if you can. Just study neuroscience and how the mind works. Then you'll get it. But that'll be it. I gotta run. Y'all have a good one. Peace.